Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session we are going to look into node relationship. So let's jump into the diagram to understand this concept. So far we have understand that how to grab the reference of the HTML element within the DOM hierarchy. So in this aspect we have seen that how to use query selector all, get element by ID, get element by class name, get element by tag, and that will help us to do the basic manipulation like change in the style as well as change in the classes. So now we will discuss about what actually the node relationship within the DOM element. So first to understand that what actually the node tree is. Node tree is the visual representation of the DOM elements which are organized as an hierarchy. So if you closely look into that, then you will find that it contains various elements like head, body, title, h1 and p, div. There are many elements and that actually makes the HTML page. So in this node tree, let's understand what actually the sibling is. So the element which exists at the same level, that is a sibling. So that means the relationship between this header 1 h1 element with this p element is a sibling relationship. So wherever the element exists at the same level, then it is represented as sibling. In this case, this h1, p and div is the sibling of each other. At the below level, this p, h1 and div is sibling of each other. So this relationship is called sibling relationship. Now there is another type of relationship, that is parent-child relationship. Over here, this div element is the parent for p, header 1 and this div, as these three elements exist at another level and which is being associated with this div as immediate parent, and this relationship is called parent-child relationship. So these two kind of relationship exist and we will use this relationship to traverse the DOM, and that will help us to do the bigger selection in the DOM. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code to understand this with an example. So we are into the Visual Studio Code, and the kind of example we are going to have, there is a little variation in the earlier example. So I have introduced an article tag over here, which is a parent tag for these elements, and these element is having relationship with each other as a sibling relationship, but article is the parent relationship for all these elements. Now what we will do, we will grab all these elements and apply the class dynamically. So how we can do that? First we will remove this one, and then we can traverse all the node, and then we can apply the CSS class to it. And the class which I am going to apply over here is this style.css file is having .green box. So this class I am going to apply by traversing each of the node inside the article tag. So let's do it. So how we can do this? So what we need to do, we need to define a variable, and here we need to define article equal to document dot query selector, and here we need to specify the article. This article I want to grab, and I want to traverse each of the children of this article node. So how we can do that? Then we need to access the children property. Let's look into that. art.children. We will first console log it so that we will see that what it has. Save it. Let's jump into the browser to see the output, and then you will find it over here. It has grabbed all the element which exist within the article element. Now let's proceed further. One thing you notice over here is that this is an HTML collection, and HTML collection doesn't support for each method. So how we can iterate all the element and apply the class? So to get the support of for each method, we need to convert this HTML collection to array object. So let's do it now. So what we need to do, we need to specify over here array.from, and then we need to specify from where you want to create the array. I want to create it from art dot, and here we need to specify children. Save it and console log it so that we can verify that whether it is creating the array object or not. Let's look into that. Console.log, close it, save it. Let's look into the output. Then you will find it over here. It has returned the array element. Now what we will do, we will iterate it using for each. So let's do it. So grab this one, and on top of it we will apply over here dot for each, and within that we will pass the arrow function, and here we will tell that each node, and within that we need to specify what we want to do. So we want to grab each node, then we will click on each node dot class list, and here we need to specify add method, and within that we will pass the class name, and the class we are having green box. Save it. Let's look into the output, what output we get. Now you will see it over here. It has applied the green box class to each of the child element of article element. So now let's proceed further. So this is one of the way by which you can get the information about the children element. So now we will look into how to grab the information about the parent element and then apply the class to the parent element. So let's do it. So first we will comment this out. Let's comment it. And now what we will do, we will, instead of article, we will grab the h1 tag, and here we will tell that h1, and then better we will tell that head1, and we will specify over here head1 dot parent element, and within that we need to specify dot class list and dot add, and here we need to specify the class, and our class is green box. So let's look into the output, what output we will get, and see here this time it has applied the class to the parent element of h2, that is an article element, and article element now have the class called greenbox. Let's inspect, and here you will see that class equal to greenbox, and this we are applying through the code. So let's proceed further. Now what I want to apply the greenbox class to the sibling of this h1 tag, so that is next sibling. So that means here I want to apply this p tag should have the class called greenbox. So let's do it. So we will do some changes over here. Let's comment it out, copy this one, and here we will tell that next element sibling, save it, and remaining thing is going to be the same, and we are going to apply this greenbox class to the p tag. This is because next sibling is p tag. So let's jump into the output and see here it has applied the greenbox class to the next sibling of h1 tag, that is this p tag. Let's inspect it, and you will see here it has applied this class greenbox dynamically at the runtime. So let's proceed further. So same way we are having something called previous element sibling, so let's use it. But one thing I wanted to show it over here, we don't have any previous element of this h1 tag. So what we will do, we will select this one and we will try to apply the greenbox class to this header one, this h1 tag. So let's do it. So here we will change it to p tag. Now it will select the first p tag and its previous element is the h1 element. So here we can tell that para, and instead of h1 head1 para, save it. Let's look into the output, and you will see it over here. It has applied the greenbox class to the h1 tag. So let's look into the code. So here you will see that it has returned, and see here it has applied the class greenbox to this h1 element. So let's proceed further. So now we have seen that how to select children, how to select parent, how to select next element sibling, how to select parent element sibling. Now one last thing I wanted to tell you. So you can use the chaining thing. So the chaining is a process by which you can select one after another. For example, if I want to select this p element, and then we will specify that the children, the parent of this p tag. So we will tell that parent element, and if we want to know that which is the parent element of this parent p element, and if we want to know about the parent element of para.parent element, then we need to specify again parent element. So let's look into the output, what output it will return. So we need to tell that console.log. Here it will return us the parent of this p element. So let's look into that, what it is. Then it returns the body. So this is the body element. It returns as it is a parent of article, and article is the parent of the paragraph element which we are referring now. So here if you will look into that, we have selected the first p element. This is a step by a step, and the parent of this one is the article, and article parent is the body. So that's the reason it has returned like this. And how we have grabbed it? So we have grabbed it through chaining, and this is called chaining. So this is what I wanted to demonstrate in this session. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.